You ever find yourself so close to the edge, you can practically taste the fall? That was me, Marcus Jackson, standing on a runway in Tampa, my hands deep inside the guts of a $63 million jet that screamed louder than the engine itself, sweat burning my eyes, whole reputation hanging by a thread. And let me tell you, nothing makes you question your life choices quite like the sound of black smoke pouring out of a billionaire's aircraft with the owner herself, Elaine Westfield, queen of Westfield Technologies, breathing down your neck, wanting to know how much longer she'd have to wait, as if her entire empire might collapse because some anonymous mechanic couldn't work a miracle on command. "You can't rush this, ma'am," I said without looking up, because the truth is, in aviation, you hurry and someone ends up dead, maybe even you. She didn't like that answer. I could tell, but she bit it back. What she didn't know was that I had $43 and some change to my name, an eviction notice burning a hole in my back pocket, and a daughter's overdue tuition waiting for a solution. What I didn't know was that in 17 minutes, my whole life was about to get flipped upside down. But let me back up a sec. 3 days earlier, alarm screaming at 4:15 a.m. like it's got something personal against me. I'm up and moving before my body even knows it. Try not to wake Tamara, my daughter sharp as a whip, following the engineering dream I never got to chase. Money was tight, apartment was tighter, but she deserved more than life kept trying to give us. I hustled through my morning, shave, coffee, check the jobs on my battered old planner. Just one job on the list, some crop duster out at Henderson Field for a guy who paid when he felt like it. The stack of unpaid bills on the counter kept growing heavier. You know what I mean? Right then, a text ping from Reggie, my old Air Force buddy. "Atlantic Elite is hiring. You should come by." Now, Atlantic is a whole other world, private jets, tech moguls, old money. I'd applied there 3 times and got turned down flat every time, always with some version of, "Our clientele expects a certain presentation." Yeah, I know exactly what that means. But Reggie said things had changed, so I figured, what the hell, I'll swing by after the Henderson job. I got dressed, checked the Aurora face line by years, gray at the temples thanks to Afghanistan sandstorms, dignity the only thing I had left in my name most days. Tamara caught me heading out. "Atlantic? That's huge, Dad," she said, eyes wide with hope I was afraid to touch. "Don't get your hopes up," I said, but I wanted it as much for her as for me. Henderson Field was a sleepy place. Old Earl Peterson, the farmer, waved me over. His plane was knocking bad at startup, straightforward fix, but he couldn't pay for a week or so. What can you do? That's life. He thanked me, told me I should be running my own shop by now, and we shared that unspoken understanding. Black mechanics don't get a fair shake in the unions, no matter what the rules say. As I loaded my tools, he admitted his own daddy wouldn't have let a black man touch his tractor, much less his plane. Daddy was wrong about a lot of things, he said. "You do good work, son. Sometimes that's all you get." On the way out, Tamara called. Turns out the billionaire herself, Elaine Westfield, had her jet in the hangar where Tamara was interning. Tamara was all fired up about those engines, Rolls-Royce pearls, the kind only the super rich ever see up close. Her pride in talking shop with me, I'll never forget that. I tried to sound confident, promised I'd figure out the rent, even if I had no idea how. I pulled up at Atlantic Elite, polished glass, Lumbos in the lot, security looking me up and down like I might steal a jet instead of fix one. Reggie met me with a big grin, pulled me inside. Place was immaculate. We caught up over coffee, his wife made partner, his son heading to Georgia Tech, and then, "We need you, man. The boss actually cares about skill now." The new guy in charge, Morty, turned out to be ex-Air Force, just like me. The interview was technical, no nonsense, and for once, nobody cared about my presentation, just my experience. He offered me the job on the spot. $87,000 plus overtime, benefits, everything I've been dreaming about for tomorrow. Before I could even process, Reggie hustled me to the tarmac. Big emergency. A G650, Westfields, was grounded with engine trouble and a CEO about to lose her mind. "You're up," he said. That's how I found myself under that jet, sweat stinging my eyes, tools in hand, and the weight of everything I'd ever wanted or lost pushing me forward. I found the Isuya cracked fuel nozzle. Not a textbook fix, but in the field, you work with what you've got. I explained the options to Elaine. I can patch it. Temporary, but it'll get you to your meeting. She studied me, saw something, I guess respect, maybe. Do it, she said. 90 minutes of pure focus later, the engine purred. Her pilot was grateful. Elaine pressed a business card in my hand. Call me. I have thoughts about talent acquisition. And just like that, my phone pinged $3,500 from Westfield Technologies for emergency repairs. I just sat there, stunned. That's more than 3 weeks' work. Rent, tuition, truck repairs all in one swoop. First time in years, I ate dinner without counting the cost. Months rolled by. Everything changed fast. Promoted to senior tech, new house, Tamara thriving. But I never heard back from Elaine. Then one day, out of the blue, she showed up at the shop, looking like she owned the world. Lunch? She asked. In her Maybach, she told me about a company she'd bought and how my runway repair notes were making the rounds with her engineers. Then, she made me an offer I could hardly believe. Director of Practical Applications, $225,000 a year, stock options, house in Atlanta, full ride for Tamara at Georgia Tech. It felt too good to be true, and I said as much. You think I have an angle? She asked. I built everything I have by seeing what others overlook. That night, she texted me how she even knew I'd be up thinking about it. I want you for what you do, not what you look like, she said. No pressure. 1 week to decide. I took the job. 2 weeks later, I was in Atlanta, designing the next generation of maintenance systems, building a future for people like Tamara and me. But life doesn't hand you victory without a test. One day, Elaine's jet had the same engine trouble as in Tampa, except this time, the damage was deliberate. Sabotage. We called in the feds. Whoever did it knew my methods, knew I'd be the one called. Then, our systems got hacked, someone probing, showing off but not causing damage. Felt like someone was trying to get our attention. That night, Elaine and I followed a cryptic message to a shadowy hangar and found Robert Carzone, a disgraced engineer whose company Elaine had crushed years ago. I could have wrecked your company, but I want a seat at the table, he said. Turns out he'd pinpointed a flaw in our high-altitude tech nobody else saw. It was an unorthodox job application blackmail by brilliance. We check his work, he was right. Elaine hammered out a Dell join as a consultant, full restitution, no crimes admitted. Sometimes you've got to make peace with the enemy if the bigger goal is worth it. After that, the project soared. Carson's fix put us ahead of schedule. The first prototype ran flawlessly, and I found myself standing at a crossroads I never expected. One night, Elaine called me into her office. Champagne on ice, city lights outside. She made me another offer, a 3-year leadership track, executive development, maybe even a shot at CEO one day. And not just that. She set a small box on the table, her grandfather's railroad watch, the one that inspired her to believe in hands-on skill as much as theory. I want a partner, she said, someone who leads through action, not just authority. Professional, personal, something new. You don't have to answer tonight, but you need to know what's on the table. I walked home, that heavy gold watch in my pocket, thinking about how far I'd come. All the times I've been overlooked, told to wait, told to fit in. Now, the only thing between me and the future was my own willingness to believe I belonged at the top. 6 months ago, I was fixing planes to keep the lights on. Tonight, I was helping design the future me hands, my name, my vision. The next morning, I told Elaine, I'm in. All the way. Partners. She smiled. Not as a boss, but as an equal. Ready for takeoff? She said. And I knew she didn't mean the plane. So here's the thing, sometimes the world tries to keep you in your place, but all it takes is one person willing to see what's real. Maybe you just have to keep fixing what's broken. Keep showing up, keep believing you're more than the role you've been assigned. That's what I did. And now, when I look up and see my name on that door, or catch my daughter's grin as she walks in her future, I know this isn't luck, it's recognition, finally earned. So let me ask you, after hearing my story, would you have risked everything for one shot at the life you deserved, even if it meant betting on yourself when nobody else would? Comment below, share your thoughts, and let's talk about what it means to find justice to find your place, to rewrite the story you thought you were stuck with.